So this is your Photon Trader scorecard. If you haven't done so already, please click the link below this video in the notes, and it should pop up an option for you to save a copy of this scorecard down to your own Google Drive, where then you will be able to edit this and save this for the future. If that window didn't pop up and it just says view only, then just click file up on the top left hand side and you can click make a copy there, and that will allow you to save it down and allow you to edit it. So the spreadsheet is a super simple way of basically just kind of seeing where you're at, and then kind of, later on in your journey, kind of seeing how much you've progressed, but also helping you to kind of identify any areas right now of kind of maybe where the gaps are in your knowledge, and kind of what you need to nail down. Now, obviously, if you're kind of brand new to trading and you haven't really, learned anything within a space, you're probably not going to know that much, right? And your answers to most of these questions will be no. So there's a nice little drop down menu here, which you can change, right? And it'll keep track of it. If you are more experienced, you probably will be able to answer yes to the majority of these, but it will still be very useful where you can, very quickly and visually see where those gaps are that are probably going to lead you to those biggest quick, leaps in improvement. If you go and kind of fix and progress in those areas which you haven't quite nailed down yet. So very simply, if the kind of foundation stage, right? Very kind of, the basic first things we'll learn about trading and forex trading specifically, i.e., do you know how to read currency quotes? Do you understand the difference between the base and the quote currency? Do you have a full understanding of pips, lots, leverage, margin, rollover, swap, and spread? Right, all of these reasonably basic terms. If you do, click yes. If you don't, click no. Now, as you go through this, don't kind of view this as a test on your intelligence or whatever. Just see it as literally like, where am I at now? What are the bits I need to to fill in? Now, here, for instance, when you get to the technical analysis bit, if you're kind of new to this specific strategy in the style of trading, it might just be a case that you don't know the specific terms that we use within here, right? And it might just be a case of, you might be used to some of these things, but with a slightly different terminology. That's fine. That's kind of what I mean, right? It's not a test on a reflection of your kind of intelligence or knowledge. It's just to see, where you're at, and to kind of use this as a base as you're going through the course, just to make sure that you have actually, now nailed down these things. Once you've actually watched and learned the relevant module and the lessons within that. So make sure you work your way through this. And then as you fill this out, you can then look at your scorecard at the end, and it will essentially fill out these. This will all automatically populate for you, and it will just show your progress along each of those kind of sections, boil down the course into kind of these 5 sort of main sections, and this will kind of show your progress along, and then any kind of gaps that you'll have left, where you need to then go and work on those sections. And then obviously this gauge will fill up as you go along. So yeah, I just think this is mainly useful for kind of filling out now, and then as you go through the course at kind of various stages, potentially a time that would make sense is after you've completed each module, go back, fill out the spreadsheet, and just see where you're at and how far you're coming along. And I just think it's a basic but very simple way of kind of just keeping that momentum high, keeping that motivation high, seeing how much you are learning and you are progressing. Just another way other than purely always just judging yourself right based on your P&L, which as traders it can be very easy to slip into that cycle. So I think this is a pretty good way of doing that, but also later on in your career, as you get more experience, coming back in here and really kind of making sure you can answer all of these questions with confidence, and it'll quickly highlight any areas that you can maybe go in and work on, and make some decent improvements on. So I'll leave that there. As always, I should say, if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to drop them in the comments below, and I will be happy to help. Enjoy.